to a 2011 CDC report, Mississippi ranked as the 13th highest state in the nation for children ages 4 to 17 with current ADHD.
Tonight, Fox 23's Alyssa Cole has a two-part special report on what it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and how you can detect its symptoms in your children.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, commonly known as ADHD. According to the Attention Deficit Disorder Association, it is a highly genetic brain-based syndrome that interacts with the regulation of a particular set of brain functions and related behaviors. Dr. Ronald Kent of Hattiesburg Clinic Connection specializes in ADHD, and he says the disorder is made up of multiplexes.
ADHD really is made up of two separate kind of symptom complexes. One is the inattention part, and one is the hyperactive impulsive part. And so to make a diagnosis of ADHD, you really have to have what the Academy of Pediatrics puts out as 6 to 9 of the listed symptoms of inattention and or 6 to 9 of the listed symptoms of hyperactivity, impulsivity. And you have to have significant problems in the areas of performance.
Attentive type symptoms include not paying attention to detail, failing to pay attention, inability to follow or understand directions, or forgetfulness. And the hyperactivity impulsive symptoms usually includes fidgeting, running or climbing at inappropriate times, talking too much, constant interruptions, or acting as driven by a motor.
Well, which one gets more attention is the hyperactive impulsive part. And that gives us a lot of problems. Not us per se, but people with ADHD, inattentive subtype, really don't get recognized by teachers and parents and other people that are dealing with children as quickly as the ones with hyperactivity impulsivity.
But the question remains, how can parents or teachers spot a child's ADHD symptoms?
The worst place you can have ADHD is in the classroom. You're asked to sit for a long time doing something you're not particularly interested in with a whole lot of distraction around you.
What about adults?
The criteria say that you have to have symptoms before the age of 12. So really, even to make a diagnosis as an adult, it's really, you should see some signs of ADHD in the childhood time of a person's life, even though you may not have significant problems until you get to be an adult.
Dr. Kent says the most common type of ADHD is the combination of hyperactivity, impulsivity, and inattention. In fact, he recently treated a patient for the same combination disorder.
My last patient I just saw, she had more problems with the inattention, but one teacher in particular had problems with the hyperactivity and impulsivity in their class too. And she was having significant problems in multiple areas in the classroom. So it was affecting her performance.
According to a 2011-2012 CDC report, approximately 6.4 million American children were diagnosed with ADHD, and according to the 2011 CDC data, 10.9% of children in Mississippi had current ADHD, which ranked Mississippi as the 13th highest state for children with current forms of this disorder.
Now, the majority of children with ADHD, it's a genetic tendency. Okay, so you'll see some signs of ADHD in somewhere in their family, so they are born with it.
He says it's even common for adults to recognize their own symptoms after their child is diagnosed with the disorder.
I had a father here today for a visit that said, you know, I think I struggle with this too. And I told him, when you have a child that has ADHD, you increase your chances as an adult from about 5% to 25%. So just the fact that it's in your family makes you more likely to have that diagnosis.
With research data observations from doctors around the country, there are still people out there who believe that ADHD is not real.
One of the big myths is that it doesn't exist. I mean, and so just being very practical about it and just not getting defensive about the fact that their child's been diagnosed with ADHD, and just say, look, we went to professionals, they felt like that's what our problem was, we were struggling in school. Fortunately, with treatment, we're doing a lot better. And so if somebody has a misconception about it or believes one of the myths, it doesn't exist, you just say, it works. you know, for us, it works.
Dr. Kent says there is no reason to feel guilty or avoid finding help for a child who potentially may have ADHD, because the answer to those curiosities may determine that child's behavior and future health. Alyssa Cole, Fox 23 News.
And tune in tomorrow night. Dr. Ronald Kent, of course, will put the rest of myths related to ADHD to rest and discuss treatment and affordable options for prescription medical care.